welcome to today's workshop on attracting leads, building loyalty, and driving sales. We're excited to have you here today because this session is all about turning ads into real customers and sales, something I feel every business owner needs. So leading us today, we have Mr. Daniel Kofi Buedu. He's a software engineer and co-founder of Impala Technologies. Daniel brings a wealth of experience in using technology to help businesses grow faster and smarter. So he'll be guiding us through how to run effective ads, capturing leads, and building customer relationships that drive sales. So I won't say too much. I'll let Daniel introduce himself properly. So please help me and join me, to welcome him. So Daniel, over to you, please.
All right. Give me 1 second, okay?
Sure.
Let me do this. Okay. All right. Thanks everyone. We need thanks to you and your team for having me on here. With the introduction, I always say that's the most difficult question because I always don't know where to start from. But just for clarity purpose, we do have people from different countries, right?
Yes, I believe Ghana and
Okay.
Nigeria is fine.
Okay, Ghana and Nigeria, that's it.
Yes. From what
Oh,
I know,
okay.
in case there are others on the call from different countries, please feel free to let us know.
Yes, please. I'll be beyond Ghana and Nigeria. In case you are from any other African country, can you unmute and just let us know? That I'm just asking for a reason. Okay. Um, Also, after the introduction, I'll prefer to make sure we don't make this a classroom teacher kind of workshop. I really don't like that feeling. So, when I'm done with the introduction, I prefer to at least, I don't think we have more than 100 people, so we can do a quick introduction from, all the people on here. All right, so I'm Daniel Kofi Buedu, like Winnie said, and my background is software engineering. It's not normal to see a software engineer talking about marketing. All right. So that makes me a bit different. I feel proud to be different among them. And so I have about 12 years background in business. That's prior to becoming a software engineer. And I didn't go to business school or anything, but this is just through experience, trial and error. And I've been able to make a big change in some of the businesses that I've pursued. And so I think it has given me the opportunity and also the credibility to be here to also share that experience with everyone. And so I hope this helps. All right. And so, Mr. Isaac Afenu, Ray Osei, please, guys, I'd like to get a quick introduction from you guys. Okay.
Hi everyone,
Like
my name
what
is
you
Isaac
do, your background
Afenu.
and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Sure. My name is Isaac Afenu, Special Project Manager at Oze.
Oh, okay, okay. Nice meeting you. Mr. Ray Osei.
Sorry, he's my team member, so he's right here.
Hi everyone, my name is Raymond Osei. I am the video content marketer here at Oze, and it's nice to meet you all.
Dakwa. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, go ahead. Yes.
Right. Okay, so my business giftings is a gift and packaging solutions one. We are based in Kumasi with nationwide delivery. So our whole existence is to make sure that we help people get a memorable experience for gifting in terms of the entire process from the person who places the order up to the receiver's end. So pretty much about thoughtful gifts, pretty much.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Portia. Mr. Michael.
Okay, so my name is Kenta Posha. I'm based in Wa, and I manage P&P Smokes. We weave fabrics and sew smokes. We do customization. If it's a group that you want fabrics unique to your program. We do all that, and we offer nationwide delivery services. Thank you.
Okay. Nice. Who else? Who's next? Mr. Michael. Okay. Mr. Stephen.
Yeah, okay. Hello, my name is Michael, and my business name is Media Consult. Basically, we are into business and research consultancy services. Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. I think we are having more people coming in. And so I think we'll continue with Mohammed and the rest. And so I'll just go ahead and touch on what we have for today. And then at the end of everything, I can just go back and circle back with them. Okay. All right. So for me, on a normal day, I don't like doing presentation, but Winnie was pushing me to do it, simply because one, I'm not good at presentation, and two, I like to just flow, right? But I just did a quick one about 30 minutes before the program. I did a quick, so please excuse me if you don't like the presentation, if it doesn't look nice. In computer science classes, we are not really good at these things. You barely do presentations, okay? And so I'll just go ahead and screen, and then we can start. Okay, let's see. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay, all right. Let me close this. All right, so so we are here specifically to talk about attracting leads, building loyalty, and then getting more sales. And so at the end of the day, we are all business owners here. And when you have a business, you need to have customers to keep the business running. And so attracting leads is just as saying, how do we get them to come in? Because I realize most of us, we wait for customers to find us. And so at the end of this whole session, you'll be able to understand how to get them, how to attract them to come in. And then when they come in, how do you get them to move past that to become customers? We need to build that loyalty. And so we believe business is about building strong relationship. And to be able to build strong relationship, we need to establish some kind of loyalty, right? Now, the byproduct of these two things is getting more sales. And so, if you can attract the leads, if you can build the loyalty, then definitely your answer will be more sales. Okay. Now, excuse me for this picture because I specifically picked this picture for so many reasons, even though this is not my current face. This is back in 2014, 2015, when I was officially trying to do my first business. And so I will touch deeply on my background and then also why business. But before then, why business? Business because some of us, we were not able to get employment. Some of us, we felt like we can solve social problems. And then some of us, we want to make more money. And so, independent of your reason being here, it's still valid. I'll say you are doing it great. And so, with my background in context of business, I grew up in a home where our parents were not educated. And so the basis for business was to go out there with my mom and start selling. And so I'll say my first introduction to any form of business was to, go outside with my mom to sell tomatoes and those kind of stuff. And then officially around 2014, 2015, as you can see in this pic, I decided to try something. Well, first of all, I couldn't get a job. It felt boring to just be at home. So I decided to try something online. And the product that I picked was to sell African outfits, African clothing. So you can see the dashiki on me right there. And the reason for taking this picture was to do a photo shoot so that I can post it online for people to think I'm a fashion designer. even though this picture doesn't depict that. But back then, I thought this was the cutest or the best way to approach it. And so I decided to sell African clothing online. And specifically, I was targeting Americans or African Americans. Reason being is I felt they can pay more for the product because I was just money hungry. I needed money. I didn't have time for, Ghanaians. Oh, Temeso, can you negotiate? So I wanted to sell to Americans. Long story short, I was posting online, Facebook specifically. I was doing it for 1 year consistently. And so from 2014, 2015 to 2018, that's the full life cycle of the business. I was able to grow the business from zero Ghana cities to, I'll say, about 50,000 to, let's say, 80,000, maximum 80,000 Ghana city within that 4 years. And so what I was doing is I project myself as a fashion designer, post pictures from Pinterest and all that stuff on social media, get the customers, go to my local seamstress. She charges me 60 Ghana cedis, and then I sell the outfit to the Americans for $200, $150, and then I ship it to them. And so I was doing this very comfortably from home, and it might not be super rich or huge income, but the money was very decent. It was really good to a point where I was taking care of my family and stuff. And then fast forward in 2018, I chanced on another opportunity, which is somebody introduced me to travel, selling travel packages and stuff. And she wanted us to work together. And so at the end of the partnership, I decided to start my own travel company. And so I started a travel company back in 2018, and I've been running the company till 2025. Now, the life cycle of this business from 2018 to 2025, I was able to take that business as well from $0, and we've done almost $1.8 million, right? From 2018 to 2025. So that's about 8 years of doing the business. And so within the course of doing all this business, I've gone through a lot of challenges. I stayed in America for 8, 9 years before moving back to Ghana. And I only worked one job in the US. And so to be able to do this, that should tell you that business had to take care of me, specifically the travel business. And to do business full time in America, have bills, pay school tuitions, and those kind of stuff, that should tell you that business was paying me a lot of money. So I've been able to build massive experience doing online business. And as you can see, I was never an industry expert in any of those businesses. I don't know how to create itineraries. I had no idea about travel packages. I've never been a seamstress before. I cannot even pass a thread into a needle now, right? But I was making more money than the average expert in that industry simply because I do understand how to attract leads, build loyalty, and get more sales. Okay. And so this is a cool pic. I don't care what you guys think, but I like the picture. Okay. All right, so why are we here? Well, it's very simple. We are here because we also want to at least take our business from where it is to a stage where it will take care of us. And I always say this, if you are running a business, your goal is to get the business to a point where the business can pay for every single thing in your entire life. Okay? You shouldn't be doing a 9 to 5 and still doing business. Okay, so your goal is if you have a job and you have a business, the goal is to take the business to a stage where it pays you more than your job to an extent where you have to leave the job and commit fully or entirely to the business. So we are all here for the same reason to make sure our business can grow to a point where it will fully take care of us. All right. And so before I jump into attracting leads and building loyalty and customers, I would like to differentiate between marketing and advertising. And so what I'm saying here is marketing is not equal to advertising. And so as you can see, this two symbol is just a programming symbol. So I'm just trying to say, when you hear the word marketing, don't think it's the same as advertising. And so I like to simplify the definition. So when you move out of this meeting, you will know how to market and when to advertise. Okay. And so I'll start with advertising first because advertising is very simple. When we say advertising, we are just saying, well, we have so many products in our business. Maybe let's say you have men t-shirts, you have women clothing and stuff. And so when you want to advertise, your goal is to get some attention on that specific product. Okay, so advertising is just we need some attention. But when we talk about marketing, marketing encapsulates everything about your business, the perception, the brand, the advertising, almost everything about your business, the process and everything comes with marketing. So I would say marketing is a long-term thing, something that you do progressively. You don't just do marketing 1 week and you stop because the value of marketing is it actually compounds over time. You don't see it right in there. Do you get what I'm saying? So when you start marketing, it should be 5 years, 10 years marketing strategy. But when it comes to advertising, that's something you do it ASAP just to get some feedback or attention. All right. And also, I dislike the fact that everyone is just listening. In case you have anything to say, you can always jump in. You don't have to listen to the end. You can say, oh, I have a question here. I have this, so we can make it more interactive. Because I just hate hearing myself all the time. Okay. Also, well, to be able to achieve everything I've said prior to this point, one key, I'll say very vital is we need to know our audience first before we can even attract them. Okay. And so for me, when I jumped on TikTok, some of you might be coming from my TikTok page. You realize when you look on my TikTok page, it took only 2 weeks for me to grow the page. I mean, I created a page long before posting consistently, but it took me 2 weeks to grow the page from 600 followers to 10.8K just in 2 weeks. All right. It's because I know my audience. And if you go on the page, you realize I talk to only business owners, specifically business owners. And so you realize people are doing business, they are selling services, product, but they have a broad, wide audience. When you don't target or when you don't narrow your audience, it becomes very difficult to attract the right ones. And so let's say you sell clothes, right? You sell men, you sell kids, you sell women, you sell a whole bunch of different categories. Customers will get confused. And so the best way to attract leads is first you need to know your audience. But before you know your audience, what are some of the things you should have in mind? Well, you need to ask series of questions. How old are they? The agenda. Where do they live? Their career interests, their spending power. If you can know all these things, it helps you categorize who your audience are. So you just don't be wasting your time posting different TikTok videos that do not convert. Okay. You need to narrow it down to a specific group of people. And so when we ask you, okay, what do you sell? What are your services? And you name those things, and we ask you, who are your audience? You can say, well, my audience are women between the ages of 45 to 60 who make about, let's say, 60,000 Ghana cedis a year. And you can find majority of them around Adenta, East Legon, or somewhere. Very specific. Okay. And so knowing our audience is very important. We cannot achieve more sales, we cannot build brand loyalty, and we cannot get the right leads if we do not focus or if we do not pay attention to the fact that knowing our audience are far more important. Okay. And so, how do we attract the leads and how do we keep them? I like to just simplify it, break it down to two ways. The first one is content marketing. The reason why I prefer content marketing is because when you are starting off as a business owner, you don't have the money to spend on paid ads. Okay. That's the wrong time to spend money on paid ads. And also bear in mind when you start a business, you are the bookkeeper, the accountant, the marketer. You do almost every single thing, right? And so because you are doing every single thing, okay, Matthew, you have a question?
Yes. Good morning to
Mhm.
everyone.
Good morning.
Your issue knowing your audience is what is making me to ask this question.
Sure.
I'm actually a business owner. I'm into edible oils, and one of the products that I want to actually get out there that I'm currently struggling with is cold pressed groundnut cooking oil.
Okay.
And when you look at cold pressed groundnut cooking oil, it's extracted direct from the seed without passing it through fire. That makes it more healthy. But
Mm-hmm.
then people don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
I can say my audience could be like, let's say, 25 to 60-year old, because these are the active working age.
Okay.
Yeah, I know their income range could be somewhere 60,000 annually. But then the geographics is what I find difficult to say because everybody cooks, everybody eats. But then how to get it out to the markets is a challenge. For instance, I'm in Upper East region in Ghana, far away
Okay.
from the city. So
Mm-hmm.
in this case, how do I get this product across to the needed audience? And being faced with a lot of competitive products like Fritol that is very much cheaper in the market. Worst of it all, this 4 gallon oil, though they are inferior oils as compared to what I do, it's quite difficult to get audience to understand that this is more healthier because my nature of business is such that we try to control the production process. We work with women farmers in the rural communities,
Okay.
specifically Upper Eastern Northeast region, that produce the raw materials for us. Then we process at our facility. So this is something that I sometimes find quite difficult to grasp with.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm not used to talking and somebody asking questions. That's unheard of, especially in our African space. And so taking that bold step is commendable. And so I understand what you're saying. So the first thing that I'll say is when you start off, your audience will be very wide, very broad. And so no business owner will know their full audience or be able to understand them right from the beginning. And so it's normal at this stage, it's normal to have a wide audience. And so, how we will narrow it down is on this page. This is where I'll help you understand how you can narrow it down. Okay. And so, at the end of this slide, you'll be able to understand how you can narrow it down, know where they are, and also understand them more. And so, I'll be able to help you on this page. But just to address your question with this page, I'll start off by saying content marketing. And so with content marketing, what it does is it gives you the space and time to test things out. And so what does that even mean? It means in the case of what you do, you sell, let's say, healthy essential cooking oil. And so you know, okay, my competitors are Frytol, these people, and you have something unique about your product, which is it focuses on healthiness. And so you are addressing the pain point of your customers who are more interested in being healthy. And so what you do is when you go on your social medias like Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, you start making content solely on the problems within that specific space. And so you don't talk about the product. I've already said it on one of my TikTok videos. You don't talk about your product, your oil, or anything. You start identifying all the problems within the oil space, the cooking oil space. And then you pick it topic by topic, talking about why, if you don't eat healthy oils, these are the health implications, right? How to maybe solve this if you are suffering from this due to eating unhealthy oil. And so you start talking about all these things and you stay consistent. What this does for you and your business is you will start attracting customers or people or leads who are more interested in eating healthy oil, right? And so content marketing allows you to build a community, not just following. So even if there are 1,000 followers, they are very specific and interested in what you are doing. Secondly, what it does for you is they start seeing you as an expert, right? And so people will perceive you as, oh, when it comes to eating good, healthy oil, this company, this guy is the best person to talk to. All right. And so when you continue posting those videos talking about the problems in eating unhealthy oils, you realize they will start asking you questions. Okay, so what are the options on the market? If you are saying we shouldn't maybe eat these kind of oils because it contains XYZ element, can you recommend some of the healthy oils to us? And guess what? That's when your product comes in. That's when you tell them, well, we do this oil, and then with our oil, it solves these kind of problems. And so indirectly, it might take long, but let's say within 2 years, as long as you stay consistent, people will start patronizing your product without you telling them to. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right. And so to circle back, how do we attract the lead? How do we keep them? And like I stated before, I would like to narrow it down to two major points: content marketing. And so if you have a business here, please don't tell me I'm the shy type. I don't know how to talk in front of a camera. I don't know how to do this. Then don't even start a business. If you think you are not capable of recording videos and talking about something within your industry, then you are the wrong person to start a business. Because you don't have the money to pay somebody to do it. And if your goal is to grow a business, then you have to learn it. So everything is learnable. And so you should be able to take your phone. Don't think about getting the best camera or anything or mic. Just take your phone and record content. And so when you are recording the content, your goal is to build a community, not just viral videos, not just too many likes. Your goal is to attract people who have problems within that industry that your product or services is solving. And so when you take the camera, you can do a 30-day content creation timetable. And then you tell yourself every single day, these are the problems that I will talk about. If you don't know how to conceive those topics for content, use AI. Go to ChatGPT and prompt it to say, this is my industry, this is what I sell. I would like you to give me a 30-day video topics or titles that address the pain point or the problems within that industry. And ChatGPT will give you 30-day schedule videos, titles, and everything. And so all what you have to do is when you wake up every single day, don't think too hard, pick the title, the topic, and record the video. That's all you have to do. And the more you do this, you will build your confidence. You'll be able to talk well in front of the camera. You'll be able to learn how you'll be able to even hook them. You will learn so much within the 30 days to a point where on your subsequent 30 videos, you see your following growing, you see your page attracting the right people, the people that will ask you the right question, that will what direct them to your product or your services. So content marketing is very key. It helps you learn about your audience indirectly. It helps you build a personal relationship with your new leads or audience. And then I'll move to paid ads. So paid ads is something that I wouldn't recommend you to do when you are starting off. This is something that you do when the business is picking up, money is coming, you see, a lot of profit margins where you feel like, okay, well, now I can spend more money on these ads because my content cannot reach 1 million people within a week. But I want to push my product or my services to a bunch of people outside my immediate space. And so paid ads will take your services and push it to all the 10 regions, right? And at that time, you've been able to learn so much to a point where even if there's an influx of orders, you'll be able to handle it, right? So spending money on ads right from the beginning, you are wasting money. You will not be able to understand the metrics and it will not convert because people don't know you as an expert. They don't even know your product or your services. Why are you spending money to advertise it to them? And so my advice is spend time on content marketing. And then when the business or when the product is getting more sales, you'll be able to spend money on paid ads. Okay. Now, another thing that I wanted to also address is being very realistic with the timelines. Okay. And so when you start marketing, give yourself at least 4 to 5 years. 4 to 5 years. That's a realistic timeline for any business to take over. For my travel company, it took me almost 4 or 5 years to finally understand how to scale the business. And so I was doing the same thing over and over again, making mistakes, addressing some of the complaints from the customers and all that stuff. And then on the fourth year, because I was posting content, I was doing this, all the compounding effects of that content marketing started happening on the fifth year. And so on the fifth year, we're able to get almost like 200 bookings within that year. And our services is around like $5,000 per person. So just imagine the kind of money. We were just blown out. We were just shocked, like, where are all these people coming from? But we realized, okay, we have over 200 videos on YouTube. We have almost like 200 posts on Facebook. We have so much content that when you put us in Google about any travel to Ghana or something, our video will pop up. All right. And so that's the effect of content marketing. And then after we were able to make that sale in that sale, we spent over $20,000 to $30,000 on Facebook ads. Okay. And so at that time, you might think it's a lot of money, but the money we were making and the amount we were spending on ads were not even close. And so when we spent that money on ads, we were able to generate about what, 1,000 to 2,000 leads. And we're able to convert about 10% the subsequent year. So you realize the money keeps coming. And people might not understand all the work you've done for the past or the previous years. But that's the effect or the compound effect on or of content marketing. You do it over a long period of time and then you start seeing the results. Okay. And so after we've been able to do our content marketing, we've been able to grow the business to a point where we are spending money on paid ads. How do we build the loyalty? And so the first thing that I'll suggest is when you do your content marketing, you realize you'll be getting sales here and there. People will be reaching out to you. One thing that most people do not prioritize is their customers' data, right? And so let's say you started a business in 2025 January. By the end of the fifth year life cycle, you should be able to have a space, a centralized space where you will remember the first customer. You know their name, you know their telephone number, and you know their email address if they have it. Okay. Whether they are paying customers or they just reached out to ask you about the product, you should be able to have a space or a place to keep all their data. Because how do you build loyalty if you cannot reach out back to them? Right? And so imagine you've been doing business for the past 5 years and you don't have any data on your customers. The only people you can recall are the 5, 10 people that just reached out to you on WhatsApp. There's no way you can grow the business or scale it to take care of you. Even if you have a spiritual father that can pray for you to talk to God, it will not work. Right? It will not work. So money is all based on numbers. And the money or the numbers are coming from how many customers will patronize the product. And so you need a space to keep those customers. And so that is where, if you know how to use Excel, comes in. And so whilst you are running on those ads, you realize when somebody reaches out to you and show interest in your product, you ask for their name, their telephone number, and you go to your Excel and you keep it. I know some of you will say you have it in a notebook, you have it on your telephone, but there's no way you can optimize or make good use of that data when it sits on your phone or when it sits in a notebook. And so you need to move all data from your phone or your notebook into an Excel, document that contact from the time they showed interest to the time they became a customer. And so by the end of your 5th year, you'll be able to have, let's say, about 1,000 to 2,000 leads mixed with your customers. Even if you run a simple checkup on those customers, which is the follow-ups for that 1,000 to 1,500 people, even if your business is struggling with sales, and 1% or 2% from all those leads that you've been able to build and keep for those years ends up buying from you, that's good revenue right there. You will be able to keep your business stable for a while before you get back on your feet. So prioritize keeping your customers' data. And then to build the loyalty, we just follow up, we just take their feedbacks, and then we just compensate them. Right. And so doing this over time, they will start trusting you. Because when you reach out to people and you say, hey, you just purchased one of our products, what do you think? Right? You make them feel like they can advise you, they can make an input into your business. And so at the end of the day, they see you as somebody who is willing to learn and grow. And when people feel like they can be part of something or be part of whatever you are doing, they tend to inherently support you. Right? And so always take feedback. For what I do in my business, I look frozen, right? Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Daniel.
We can hear
Yes,
you.
sir, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So for me, this is what I do, and you can take a leaf out of my book for that. So let's say I organize a trip for 100 people, right? And they book the trip, they go to those various countries, and they get back. This is what I do. I send them a bulk email, right? For my customers, they are mostly in touch with me through emails. So I send them an email and I say, hey, can you leave me a review on our Google My Business page, right? And so I'll send them an email saying, if you leave a review on our Google My Business page, on your subsequent trip, I'll give you 5% off, right? That's what I do to urge them to go leave a review. And so you realize maybe out of 20 people, only 10, they go out there and they write the review. And so when they write the review, one, I read the reviews, and then the one that sounds so bad, I call them and I say, hey, Winnie, I just saw your review. I mean, what happened? Then I allow them to talk. They talk and they talk and they talk. And then after talking, I tell them, you know what? I do apologize. This is not a space to justify why that issue happened. That's their sentiment. I agree to it and just keep it moving. And so I just go ahead and say, that's valid, but this is what I can do for you. What do you think? I'll give you 5% on your next subsequent trip because guess what? On the next subsequent trip, I'll still make money from them, but then I'll be able to change their perception about our business. Okay. And then when it comes to them referring somebody, they will focus on the good side more versus the bad side. Right. And so every single purchase, you need to follow up for a feedback. People will educate you more about your product because some of us business owners, we are self-centered. We think our product is solving the problem, but you are building the product or the services for the customers. So if you are not taking their feedback, you are building it for yourself, not for them. And so if you have 100 buyers, make sure you are getting 100 feedbacks. And if they are telling you we don't like your shitter, but we like your steel, then you need to do something about the shitter, right? And so to build the loyalty, you need to take feedbacks, you need to follow ups, and you need to always compensate them with some kind of rewards. Okay. And so how do we get more sales from this? Okay, this is the last part. How do we get more sales from this? So this to get more sales, we don't need to do anything. If you've done all these things, if you've gone through all these sequence, the byproduct of everything is more sales. All right. And so if I have 1,000 people in the course of 5 years buying from me, and I've been able to follow up, take their feedback, giving them rewards and all that stuff, I'll be able to maintain that loyalty between the customers and I to a point where maybe every single year I can get 10% of them to come back and buy from me, which is more sales. And then guess what? I'll be able to have enough money to also what? Pay for social media ads, which will bring in more new leads. And so you realize the business starts to take off from there. And so we must know our audience first by starting with the content marketing, making sure we become an expert in our industry, and then we must stay what consistent. And so by doing the content marketing, we don't give up. We keep pushing it through a life cycle. And then whilst we are doing that, we must prioritize their data. And so we have a place where we can centralize everything. We know their names, we know their telephone numbers or their emails. And then based on that, we will be able to do follow-ups, like checkups. At the end of the month, we'll be able to say, oh, happy new month. This is coming from Oze Finance, and we are just checking in to see how you're doing, right? Let's say we have a promo, we just say, oh, we just have a 10% discount on our new product, and we just wanted to see if you want to take an opportunity and grab this, right? Over time, they just have your business name on top of their mind. And so as soon as anything within your industry is mentioned, or what the customer will say, oh, I know this company called Oze Finance. I think they can give you a loan. I think they can do this. I think they can do this. Why? Because you've been what? Consistently what? Following up. Without doing that, they will forget about you because nobody is sitting down thinking about your product or your business. It's just like a relationship. You and your boyfriend needs to talk every single day. And so if your boyfriend doesn't call you, if your girlfriend doesn't call you or check up on you, the relationship will break. It will not continue. It will not lead to marriage, right? So your goal is to take your customers from dating point to a relationship into marriage. And then if you can go through that 3 stages, trust me, they will always come back to you. Okay? So I'm done. That's all I can tell you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Please, do you have any questions for Daniel? I'm sure there are some questions because he's shared a lot of insights with us. So any questions from the audience?
I mean, if you don't like asking questions, I can tell your business will not grow.
Oh, Matthew wants to ask a question. I
I
saw.
would like to ask a question.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a question here.
A
I
question.
really love the presentation, and I think your experience in the social media world than most of us here. I'll say me, let me not say generalize it. And
Mm-hmm.
I would like to contact you personally for some advice and guidance on how to go around some things. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Good.
But let me also issue this disclaimer. I did that on TikTok and I had almost like 200 people blowing my phones and this. And everybody's asking for my time, but they are not compensating me. So please make sure if you are coming, you have some token. Okay.
Yes, please. I think we had a question from Nelson. Nelson, yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon.
Good
Afternoon.
afternoon.
Thank you for the presentation. It was very enlightening, very enlightening. But I just have a little misunderstanding about where you said um, job ads that we should wait for our products. Should to be having some kind of sales, some number of sales before we can start doing adverts, posting job
Yeah.
ads and spending on it. Um, to me, for a product that we are just coming up with, trying to reach out to customers. So how
Mhm.
do we build customers organically? I think posting ads is one of those ways we can reach out to our customers so that people can be aware of what we are doing. So when you now said we should uh, reach a certain level, so that
Mhm.
is what I don't get. Yeah, that's my
Okay.
question.
Yeah, okay. And so, thank you so much for bringing this up. And so, my reason for addressing it, because I prefer it in that order, right? And so, I'll address it here. So, when you have a product or when you have a service, think about it this way. Nobody knows the product or service. You take advertising to expose them to the product or services, which is you can spend money and you can do social media paid ads. But guess what? Your products, you can spend $30,000 on the ads. The product can reach 1 million people. And I can guarantee you, because there's a lot of statistics supporting this, I can guarantee you that out of the 1 million people seeing it and 30,000 on the ad, you might get only 1,000 sales. Only 1,000 sales. So you realize they show interest, but they are not buying. They show interest, but they are not buying because you haven't solved one major issue. They don't understand the product and they don't know you. And so people buy based on confidence, based on, let's say, evidence, right? And so when they check your product as a new business, they check your social media platform, you don't have enough evidence to show that you're an expert in that industry. And so they start questioning, okay, maybe this guy, he's just starting off, well, nice page, nice product, but I'm not ready to buy. And so the content marketing is where you take your time to build that connection with them. Organically, you are trying to establish your presence within the space to say, I'm an expert. Look at me. We have enough people that have used our product. We have enough traction on our page. We have this, because people will check you out before they make that decision. And so right now, if you go on our business social media pages or you put us in Google, we have enough reviews, enough feedback to say, I can't doubt this business. They are legit or they know what they are doing. And so organically use content marketing. It's very painful because advertising is the easiest way to do it. But content marketing will yield you more and better results, save you more money, and also make sure your brand is very solidified on the base level. And so when you decide to run the paid ad, you realize it's converting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much. I'd like to ask one more question that for a business owner, someone that's just started, does it make sense to use your first capital on investment, on marketing. I understood what you just said now. But imagine someone invest, I have a product, maybe I sell a cup, a unique cup, and a lot of people like it, but they don't know me. It's just within my region. But I want to push more so that people can know. And someone just say, oh, let me just invest in this your product. And maybe this person gives me 1 million naira, I'm in Nigeria. So we use Naira. So let me just invest 1 million naira in your product. And I believe in me that if thousands of people see this, with this product, they should be able to buy it or at least be my prospect customers. Does it make sense for me to use, I mean, larger percentage of the money, being that I have the product already, I've produced a lot of products, but I just want to reach out. Does it make sense to use an investment for marketing when I have not started seeing much profit?
No, I would
But
say don't do.
to me, I see that the marketing is the next thing I need to push. I just have to push the marketing. So does it
Yeah.
make sense to use it?
Yeah, so I would say it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense to, if the business is not even yielding any profit, because cash is very hard to come by if you are starting off as a business owner. Getting funding is very difficult. And so if somebody shows an interest in your product or service, you need to manage the money well. For me, if that money is given to me, I will go hard on my content marketing. I will make sure that I get enough people on the grounds, build a direct connection with them. They understand the product. They can take the product else somewhere and do the marketing for me themselves without me telling them what to say because they understand the product so well because I find my presence within that small community. And when you start any business, don't be thinking about scaling. You are not ready for it. If you run an ad and you get 1,000 people ordering your product, you will fail. You will end up doing so many mistakes, and it will affect your business because you are not ready to handle 1,000 orders. You are not ready, and so if you get 1,000 orders, you will make a lot of mistakes. That will tarnish
Yeah,
the brand.
hello?
Yes,
Hello?
Hello, Mohammed.
yes.
Yeah, Mr. Dan, I would like to know how you go about with sales or lease rejection. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, let me finish with what I was saying. Yeah. And so I think you are trying to avoid the difficult part, which is content marketing. And that's why your brain is wired to say, oh, let me just throw the money on paid ads. It will solve our problem. But I mean, the best lessons are learned through mistakes. And so for me, I've done it over and over and over for 12 years to scale my business to that point. I can tell you, you waste a lot of money if you spend money right now on paid ads. It will not convert. You will get the attention you need, but it will not yield to sales. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's very, very enlightening. Thank you. And I'd like to connect with you as well for guidance. Thank you so much. I have a product
Just
that's
make
helping
your
me.
Naira ready. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're welcome.
I think we have giftings. So giftings, kindly unmute and ask your question. Then we'll go to Paul.
All right. Thank you very much for this session. It's been really insightful. So I have two questions. The first one is in terms of content marketing, from your experience, what channels would you say are effective for content marketing? That's the first one.
Okay. Let me answer that before you move to I'm really bad at remembering stuff. And
Yeah.
so I'll say knowing your audience, okay? So just pay attention to the age group, right? So if you have a younger audience, they are definitely on TikTok and Instagram, okay? Um, if you have an older audience, I'll say TikTok and Facebook. That's where you find them. And so my advice is don't be creating content on 5 channels. Just focus on one or two. That's all you need. You don't need to be doing YouTube. You don't need to be doing this. You don't need to do. Just pick TikTok, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, two, and just post on there.
Okay, what about email marketing? What are your thoughts on that? Or it depends on the audience again.
It depends on the audience. If their mode of communication is mainly through emails, then I'll say email marketing is good. For me, I'm in the travel business. All my customers are Americans, and so I cannot do SMS. I cannot do any other marketing apart from email marketing. And so email marketing works. They don't even know how to use WhatsApp. And so the only way I can send them, communicate, stay in touch is through emails.
Okay, right. So that was a follow-up to the first one. So the second question then is, apart from discounts, what are some of the loyalty rewards which you would recommend from your experience?
Um, hmm. Well, you can say, well, apart from discount, you can say, well, if you refer two, three people, you can get one of our product for free.
Mm,
Those kind of stuff. For me, it has always worked when I say, oh, on your subsequent trip, you get 5% off. You
mhm,
don't need to do too many like rewards. You need to come up with at least one, right?
mhm,
Like I always say this, if you cannot conceive some of these things, you can use ChatGPT to say, hey, I want to come up with a reward program for my business. I do XYZ. What are some of the ways that I can develop and finesse or do these things to make sure that I can get my customers to keep buying and referring me or something like that? It will
mhm.
give you a different context, different ideas, and then you can say, aha, I think this will make sense.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. So just to add up to something that you mentioned, this is in relation to the paid ads. I can
Mhm.
testify that paid ads at the beginning of your business is a no, 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 no. When I
Thank you.
started out, I think I tried it 3 times. The first time that I tried it, I was able to get some leads to convert, but the second times, nah, it was just a waste of money. So I've stopped doing paid ads altogether. Now
Hmm.
I'm moving towards the content marketing. I mean, it's been my fault. I've not been as consistent as I'm supposed to be. But I've also
Hmm.
realized that storytelling is one of the ways to go. It hooks people right from the get-go instead of going all out and then talking about the product, because the product is supposed to solve a problem. So just finding a way to tell the story also helps. So thank you again for this platform.
Yeah, you are welcome. And thank you for just confirming whatever I've said. It will not work. And even with paid ads, if you don't run it for a minimum of 3 months, you will not get
Please,
your profit back.
please, Mr. Daniel, I would like to know how you handle sales or this rejection in your
Okay.
course.
When you say rejection, what do you mean?
Or it means like maybe probably in your endeavor of getting customers, maybe meet people, or you just targeted them, they say, oh, I'm not interested. Maybe, for
Yeah.
example, we are running maybe we are running a financial services. They say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, don't distract your personal plans. Oh, loans are not good. Like, I don't want to have access to more credit and here and there, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
When you meet such kind of rejection, how do you go about it?
Okay. And so,
Thank you.
yeah. And so when it comes to these are all things that you discover when you are learning about sales, right? And so rejection is part of sales. Okay. They will tell you, no, 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 I'm not interested. And so you have to be very comfortable with rejection. But what happens is whenever somebody tells you no, there's a reason, right? There's a reason why they are telling you no. And so you take your time and you keep digging to find a reason. And so for me, for example, when I call people on the phone to say, hey, you showed an interest in our product or in our travel packages, and I'll just follow up to see if you have some questions for me. Always start your calls, your in-person, your sales with questions. And so allow the customer or the lead to talk more. Don't be talking too much. Allow the lead to talk too much. And so whilst the lead is talking, you understand why they are thinking the way they are thinking, why they might not buy the product, and then you know how to respond. And so I always start the conversation by saying, "Oh, hi, this is Daniel from Africa Travelers. I was just giving you a call in regards to your interest in our travel packages. Is this a good time?" And they will say, yeah, nay. If they say nay, I'll just say, okay, when will be the best time to follow up? Oh, call me next week, Friday. And then I reschedule. I use our software to reschedule the call. And when they say, yeah, it's a good time to talk, and then I'll say, okay, you said you wanted to travel to Ghana. Do you have some questions for me? And they'll start, yeah, I wanted to go to Ghana, but I don't know. They say it's too expensive. They say the flight is too long, and they'll start complaining. They will start telling you some of their reservations, their pain point. And then that's when you project yourself to say, I do understand you. You know what? When it comes to traveling, it's extremely expensive. Honestly, majority of people cannot even afford to travel. But those that can afford to travel, they always say it was a life-changing experience. But what I can tell you is our company offer a payment plan. You've addressed their pain point right there. Number two, the flight is too long. Well, when it comes to traveling international, it takes on average maybe 7 to 8 hours. So depending on where are you now, they'll tell you I'm in Georgia. From Georgia to Ghana, it's about 10 hours. You can take Delta and get direct flight to Ghana, which is very short. You've addressed their pain point. All right. And so they can tell you no, but don't give up on them. Just keep asking them questions. So they finally become vulnerable to you to give you their pain point, and then you use your business and your expertise to address it. I hope that helps.
Okay.
Paul.
Yeah, Paul, yes.
Sorry, I'd like to ask if we want to contact you. How can we contact you, sir?
Um, Let me put my WhatsApp. Or Winnie, can you put my WhatsApp there for me?
Okay, I'll put your WhatsApp.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Mr. Paul.
Like that's it. This
Um, Mr. Paul.
Hi, Paul, please kindly unmute. I think you're still muted, so if you can unmute and ask your question.
Oh, Paul, Paul. Okay, okay. I know who Paul is. Paul. Okay. That's it? Only 3 questions? Hey. Um, we have Prince, we have Osai, we have okay.
All right.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah,
Yes,
hello?
Daniel, I can hear you. You can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I mean, they just off our light, so
the Wi-Fi.
my Wi-Fi just went off. So I'm good now. Yes. So any more questions? Hey, how can we have 21 people
Okay, we have a
and
question
only
from, yes, Giftings, kindly. Please, can your name again? Sorry, I keep saying Giftings. I know that's the business name.
My name is Amma.
Sorry, Awa?
Amma.
Amma, okay, Amma.
Ama?
Amma, I know
Yes.
you. I know you, Amma. Yes, I remember. All right, please.
Right. So a question just came to mind. You mentioned marketing is supposed to be long term. You should be having a 1, 3, 10-year plan. So my question then is, when you're creating a marketing budget, what are some of the things that you should factor in?
Okay. Honestly, from my experience, I've never had a marketing budget. These technologies are for like corporation. We have a marketing budget, but on an SME level,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need a marketing budget because at the end of the day, you are not going to because the whole point of marketing budget is they spend money on PR, they spend money on because advertising is in marketing. And
Mm-hmm.
so they set the budget for advertising, influencers, they set a huge budget for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for like TV, radio, that's something on a corporate or corporation level. On an SME level, you are doing everything yourself. You don't even have more than two employees, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't set a marketing budget because you are doing everything yourself. And so I would say focus on the important stuff. Don't think about the budget, the this. Just post content marketing. Keep flooding your page with that. Stay consistent. 30 days, 90 days, every single day. You give yourself a reason to post. No excuses. Consistently, you keep pushing it and pushing it. Everything will make sense after the 90 days. When you start getting more orders, when people start reaching out to you for more of your product, the more money start coming in, you will know the amount and the things to do with your budget.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That
For me,
would,
without sales, everything else really don't make sense.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Great. Thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
I have a question. So,
Okay.
yes, please. So I wanted to, I know data is really important. It's like gold. Even where in tech companies, data really helps us, we make data-driven decisions, So when you're an SME, when it comes to also customer CRM, customer relationship management, like how much information do you need to get from like of your clients? Like what is,
Mhm.
because I know outside, sometimes they'll even ask, when is your birthday? Okay, maybe she's a mother. Like how deep do we have to go when it comes to like getting data and translating that to customer relationship management?
Yes, that's a good question. And so, hmm, I mean, in the Western world, we do most of our business like through a digital medium, right? So you as a business owner, you have the power to dictate the information you want from them to be able to make sense out of it. Within our Ghanaian space, most of our business transactions are through WhatsApp, phone, one-on-one, right? And so you don't want to bombard them with too many questions because then they will start asking you, hey, why do you want to know my birthday, my relationship status? Why do you want to know where I live, right?
Mm.
And so I always say, start with the basic three. Their full name, if possible, but one is enough. Their telephone number, and which is the same as if telephone or email is fine, and then their location. Okay, you can start with these three things. The reason why within the African market it makes sense is when you have their names, you can address them personally, which makes them feel special, right? And if you have their telephone numbers, you'll be able to communicate with them regardless of wherever your business move to, any kind of changes within your business, you'll be able to still stay in touch with them. It's like they are stuck with you forever because you have their telephone number. Their location is, I think I prioritize that because you'll be able to draw a conclusion to say, oh, most of my people are coming from Kumasi. If I want to establish any point of distribution, any point of like warehousing, anything you want to do, you know where to go and start from, right? Even in terms of like you marketing the product on social media, you'll be able to target people in Kumasi well and stuff. And then afterwards, right? Afterwards, when you are building the relationship with them, when they get to know you, you'll be able to do surveys. You're able to follow up and say, the more you talk to them, you realize, oh, she's a mother. Oh, her birthday's coming up. Or you'll be able to get all these information and then you update those details.
Thank you so much, Daniel. I appreciate that. Please, we have a
You're
question,
welcome.
Steven.
Okay. Um, who?
Yes,
Who has a
hello.
question? Yes.
Uh-huh. So I have a question, and
Mhm.
the question is about my uncle works in the construction field, and like I want to support him in attracting like customers to him. But when I do that on social media, it's like nobody wants to mind because they see me as a small boy, and like when I'm talking to them, and because construction it's a whole lot of money, it's like they ask me, oh, like where am I from and those kind of questions. So like I want a way to like convince them at like totally so that like they can bring project to him and stuff.
Okay. Well, if I was in your position and my uncle has a construction company and I want to market, I'm just a content creator and influencer, just, trying to maybe share some light on my uncle's project. So what I'll do is I'm just giving a scenario. When I pick my camera, I'll say, "Hi guys, so my uncle is building a house at Amasamai, and he has been doing this for years, and I want to show you guys, you know, some of the things that he's doing prior and then after, right? And so you can just walk them through a storytelling. Today, you just left the house in the morning, you got ready, get into your trotro, you get to the site, and you tell them, well, before my uncle came in, this was the stage, or this was where the house was. And now he's about to work on XYZ part of the house and all those kind of stuff, right? And then you take them through a series where they will see what and how the house was before your uncle touched it. Now, you are not telling them directly to patronize your uncle, but then when they see the work, they'll say, oh, wow, then your uncle is good. How do we get in touch with your uncle? And so directly you condition them to what patronize your uncle without telling them to do it by just storytelling it. That's just one aspect of it. But there are so many ways to recycle the same example in different contents.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right.
So I don't know if Steven has asked his question.
No.
Yes. Hello, Steven.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, great.
Good afternoon. Please amplify your voice.
Okay. Please, I'm Steven from Grade the Pepperman. I'm the account officer and I'm standing in for my CEO, which we lost last month. Please, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You say you work for who?
Grade Green or Pepperman.
Oh, Pepperman. Okay.
Okay. We lost our
Okay. So,
CEO
so
last.
you guys produce pepper
Yeah, we do spices,
spices. Okay.
and then
Mhm.
we also produce potatoes, tomatoes to the markets.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. So you guys
So
don't do the farming. You guys
we
just
do
outsource and
farming.
sell it to them.
No, no, no. We do farming and then we also deal in the production also.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So my question is, you were talking about content marketing. So with my business, for instance, do you think
Mm-hmm.
I should start from the farm, like when I'm creating the content, or I should just do it in the production process? Let's say when I have my pepper or habanero and then I'm processing it to the powdered form, the flakes form, or I'm drying it? Do you think I should start from the farm and then let my audience know that this is how I got my product, this is how I got the pepper from the farm and then everything, and then how I worked on everything? Do you think I should do it that way?
Yeah, you are very close, but this would be my approach. There's no one size fits all, right? Everything is about testing, and then iterations, right? And so you try different scenarios and you see which one works, which one doesn't work. In my case, I'll say don't show them the production side simply because consumers can be very judgmental. Oh, like mom, you guys don't put on gloves, you guys don't do this, they'll form a whole different perception. So I'll say you can start from the farming part, right? But you need to always get them to understand the end of let's say the end cycle of everything. So if I'm watching the video, hi guys, this is Pepper Man. Today we are growing this pepper. It's maybe on 1 acre or 2 acres of pepper. And we have about three market women at Kaswa requesting or interested in this. So the life cycle of this pepper is this, and then boom, boom, boom. And then after you are done with that, on the next video, you can say, well, we are done packaging everything. And so we'll use our company track and then we'll deliver it to the castle market to those women, right? And you see, with those kind of series, people are watching, people are seeing it. Hey, okay, I own a restaurant. I need pepper consistently. So maybe I can let them deliver it to us directly without me going to the market. Because guess what? These guys go to the market straight and deliver it to them. And so even though you are not telling them to maybe as a restaurant order it from you guys, indirectly they perceive you guys as a good logistics pepper business company or something. And then they'll just reach out to you. You start getting people reaching out to say, oh, deliver mommy. I don't want to go all the way to Sunyani to bring pepper. I don't want to do all this. Can you guys also produce and bring it to me? Because you are telling them a story. You are not asking them to buy from you. Because customers, they hate to feel like you want to just make money or sales. And guess what? On this whole life, I've never talked about my product. Think about it. I've never mentioned anything about what I do, but you end up finally using it.
Okay. Thank you for the insight.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Stephen. Claudia, do you have a question?
Madam Claudia.
That's a question. Okay.
Madam Claudia Bossman. That's a strong name. You're a boss and not just a boss man.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I don't think so. I think she hasn't connected the audio. All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. Please, can you guys show some love to Daniel in the chats? I mean, he shared some amazing insights with us. I think what I'm going to take home is the feedback and how it's important to try and get to know your customer. Please check out his Instagram page and TikTok page. It's Impala Flow. So please do what to do that. Daniel, thank you so much for your time. And your presentation was amazing. I don't know why you were afraid or you're complaining. This is a really good design. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, thank you.
Well, at least I could have added pictures, make it more,
Oh, this was
responsive and stuff.
straightforward and understandable. Are you sure you didn't do
Okay.
it? Yeah, you haven't done design before.
No, 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 no. This one I went to Canva, right?
Okay. And then you use a template.
Canva has templates,
Oh,
right? Canva has templates, and so I just edited the template and punched in my words in there. The only thing I did change was my picture, no, you know.
But are you
Yeah.
confident that you can do presentations as well?
Oh, okay, okay. All right. This is my first one. I've never done it before.
Yeah, I've done a good job. I've done a good job. Thank you so much. So, I mean, okay, I just want us to briefly talk about what we do. We come every month. We come on, we do these workshops for you guys to learn And so we just want to talk about our product. I'll hand over to my able colleague, Isaac. Isaac, if you can kindly unmute and just share briefly what Oze is about and more how we want to help business owners grow.
Thank you, Winnie. Thank you, Daniel, for the insightful presentation. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining. So I'm here to introduce the Oze app to you. Now after converting our leads to sales, we need to manage our cash flow. Growing a business is very tough. If I say from tracking of sales to managing expenses, chasing payments, and finding capital, there's always something that is dragging you, and something sapping your energy. That's why the Oze app exists, to put the power of smart business management right in your hands. So with the Oze app, you can record sales and expenses, share receipts and invoices. You can even create a pro forma invoice, remind customers who owe you to pay at the click of a button, manage your inventory. You can also extract reports and analyze your business performance periodically. When the going gets tough, you can also apply for a loan from us. And you can exhibit your products and services on the Oze shop. So if you ask me how you want to get access to the Oze app, you can visit the Play Store or App Store, type Oze Business App, and would be waiting to begin your bookkeeping journey with you. Download Oze today to do business better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isaac. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to share the recording. I don't know if anyone wants the slides too. I can ask Daniel so we can share the slides in the WhatsApp groups. So we have a WhatsApp group in Ghana, Nigeria, and Rwanda. So if you want the recording to this session, kindly join the group. We'll share it on there. Once again, thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you, everyone, for all your amazing questions. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Okay.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right, bye.